Hey guys, welcome back to Ken Outdoors. Today we're going to be making some homemade fire starters. It's something that you can put in your to-go bag or whatever if you're going camping or hiking or going on a survival trip or whatever. They definitely help you start a fire a lot easier. They will take spark from a ferrocerium rod. I'll demonstrate that later. But I'm going to go over the things you're going to need real quick. First thing, you're going to need some golf wax. You can get this at Walmart. It is in the like baking section. It's kind of hard to find because they don't usually carry a ton of it. Basically, it's just paraffin wax. You get these bricks in there. You get 4 of them, and I think it's like $3 or $4. So you need that. You are going to need some cotton rounds. They don't have to be round. You can get the square ones if you want, but some thick little pads. I'll open it up and show you what they look like. These are super cheap. It's like a textured pad, I guess, for makeup or something, because they're in the makeup section. But yeah. Then you're going to need some petroleum jelly. Doesn't have to be name brand like Vaseline. It could be cheap brand, doesn't matter. And some parchment paper. That's what I have right here on top of this rack. And I got these 2 little pots here. These are pots that I already have. They're for camping and stuff. I think they're like $5, and they're like, I think they're like 12 ounces or 16 ounces or something. They're not super big, but I carry these so I can boil some water or whatever if I need to. And I got 2 of them. This one here has the petroleum jelly, and it is already melted. I just took a big hunk of it, put it in there, and I put my eye on the lowest possible setting. I did the same thing with the paraffin wax. I broke one of those bricks in half, threw it in there. It's about halfway melted right now. That's going to take a lot longer, but that's okay because we're going to start with the petroleum jelly. So you're also going to need something to dip your little pads with, and I'm going to use some tweezers, and I'm barely going to grab it. And I'm just going to dip it down inside this petroleum jelly here. And then I'm going to let it drip until it's done. Because I don't want to make a huge mess. Just about done there. Okay, now we're just going to set it on our wax paper, parchment paper. We're going to do a whole bunch of these. Now the goal is to let these harden and dry, and then you're going to dip them in the wax once it's melted. I think I'm going to do maybe like 10 of them, 8 or 10. It is sometimes hard to get these to dip because they want to float. Alright, so I've given them some time to solidify. They've been dipped in the petroleum jelly, and I took this whole tray over there in front of a fan so they could dry out. Now we're going to dip them in our wax, which is fully melted, and let that drip. Okay. We're just doing the same thing, except now we're doing it in the wax. Okay, so now we've got 10 of our fire starters. They've been dipped in petroleum jelly, dried, then dipped in wax. Now we're going to let them dry a little bit, and we're going to dip them in the wax one more time because the paraffin wax is pretty thin, so I like to dip them twice. But I'll come back and dip them again, and then we'll go test it. Alright guys, I'm back again. They're dry already. It only takes a minute. This wax dries up pretty quick. You can put it in the fridge to make it a lot faster, but I just put it in front of a fan to kind of evenly blow air over it. So we're going to dip it in the wax for the second time. Start up here. Now it's important when you dip them the second time, make sure it's a quick dip and pull back out, because you don't want to melt any of that wax that you previously put on there, because then it kind of defeats the purpose, you know. Alright, now we just let them dry. And once they're dry, they're ready to go. And I'll show you what I do with them. Alright guys, welcome back to Can Outdoors. I'm going to be testing out some of my fire starters. This is what I keep them in. You just open it up, and there they are on the inside. Got 5 of these little wafers in there. And we are going to go ahead and light one up, and we're going to use this stopwatch here, move it away from the fire as much as I can, to time and see how long it will burn. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break it a little bit and kind of stick your finger through the other side until you can get some fibers here. Now you want to get these fibers out, opened up a little bit, kind of like a cone, just like that. Now it is kind of windy. I am in the barn, but the one door doesn't close very well, so it's still going to be windy. And then I'm going to use my fire steel here and a knife, and we're going to strike it. If I can get it to strike on it. I'm missing it. I don't think we got enough fibers out. Let's try this. Try to open it up a little bit more, maybe. There we go. That might work. Alright. Don't understand why it's not lighting. Could be the wind. Let's get on the other side and try it. There we go. Hit the start, and we'll see how long that will burn. Yeah, it's the wind. It's very windy in here still. Windy and cold. Let's turn this a little bit, see if we can get this phone away from it. Wow, it's very windy in here, but I like this heat. It's about 10 degrees outside right now, and windy, so that's why I'm doing it in here, but the barn is still wide open for the wind to come in here. Pretty big flames coming off of that thing. Sorry guys, I have to move this phone. I don't want it to catch on fire. Look at that thing. The wind is just roaring in here. Trying to catch my phone on fire. Alright. Since the wind is blowing it in that direction, let's put the phone down over here then. There we go. Well, that's still going. One of the reasons that I use a pellet tin like this to hold them is because when you're out of fire starters, you can use this tin to make char cloth. That'll be another video in the future, but it's another way to make fire starters. You just cut off some fabric and throw it in there, put it in the coals, cover it up with coals, and let it burn the fabric without actually burning it on fire. Makes char cloth, and that will and that'll light up pretty good too. So that's another reason I use a pellet tin. Going on 5 minutes and it's still going. But it looks like all the wax and the accelerant's pretty much gone. Now it's just the cotton that was inside of it burning. It burns hot too, very hot. But that's that petroleum jelly in there burning. I'd say about 6 minutes of good burn, because that's pretty much out. But then again, we had a lot of wind. If we didn't have a lot of wind, I'd say it'd probably burn another minute or two at least. Yeah, it's pretty much done. That was it. About 6.5 minutes. And my fingers are absolutely frozen. Believe it or not, there is still... Oh, come on, get off there. There is still, some of that pad left in there. So that would still burn a little bit. But, yeah, it burns good.